You know what? Initially, I just wanted to make a speed build video for this set. But then I spent a lot of time researching this car, I mean the actual car, and found fascinating how real features of it are reflected in this small model. So I feel like I just cannot not share my findings with you. Hey everyone, I'm Alex and you're on the Knobby Brick channel. And today we're going to review this small set from the Speed Champion series, which features McLaren Elva. It's been more than a year since this set was released, and most likely it will retire in the next several months before the end of 2022. So does it make sense to buy it before it's gone? Let's review it in detail and I will give you my honest opinion on that.
So we've got a small box which is all the usual size for a single car Speed Champion set. On the front side of it we can see the Lego model of McLaren Elva. It's pictured driving on the paved road, and in the background we can see a modern building made of glass and concrete. It's not just a building though, it's an actual McLaren Technology Center which is located not far from London in England. On the back side of the box we see the rear of the car, featuring exhaust pipes and nice and sleek looking tail lights. Also, there is a picture of the interior of the model and a photo of a real car of similar royal blue color. Let's cut it open, shall we? The set contains 263 pieces, which is pretty standard for a model from the Speed Champion series. It was released on the 1st of June 2021, so a bit more than a year ago, but you can still buy it in stores or online right now. Inside we can see two medium-sized plastic bags numbered with 1 and 2 respectively, and a bag with 8 wheel covers. Let's take a look at the building instructions. Inside we don't have any information about Elva, which is a bit disappointing. The book is not too thick, and as you can see it has roughly 70 pages. And here's the list of the parts. If you're interested, you can pause the video now and check it in detail. In the list I noticed this small red axe piece and I'm wondering how they use it. Now let's move on to the build itself. We start with the building of a minifigure. At first sight there is nothing special about it. The lady has a blue racing jacket with a McLaren logo on the back. There is only one face printed on the headpiece. The minifigure comes with a couple of accessories, a racing helmet and a wrench. The base of the car is the same as for the majority of Speed Champion sets, nothing outstanding there. Few pages in and I was a bit surprised with these 3 bricks. Using 2x4 bricks in such a small model feels like just a filler for a space. Instead, the designer could add some interesting details for the engine. Next we are building the rear part of the model, including bumper and exhaust pipes. I had some concerns about the strength of this construction with these small elements, but they seem to hold up well. Applying a couple of stickers, the first one goes to where the license plate should be. It represents a mesh with the automaker and model names on it, and looks very good. The second one is mostly black with some body cutouts and red reflectors. Ha! Remember, I was surprised to see this transparent red axe detail in the list of pieces of the set. Just look how they used it to represent these thin and futuristic tail lights. Absolutely brilliant. We almost finished with the back side of the car and started working on its interior. By looking at the box I thought the seats were made with stickers, but those are actually printed pieces, which is nice. Design of the seats look really similar to what is there in the real car. I was also curious about this dark gray armor-like plate, and we can see it's used here as an engine cover made of carbon fiber. Finishing the back side of the car here by putting these 2 big wedge pieces on top and covering pretty much all the studs that have been visible before. Next we are adding a few more details by applying 4 stickers to the back of the car. 2 of them are for the air vents one more adds a texture on the engine cover, and the last one goes on top of the rear wing. Wait, what is it? Two more exhaust pipes as a sticker? I don't know, I'm not sure if I like it. I think it could be done better, with actual Lego pieces. What do you think? Like it? Don't like it? Feel indifferent? Let me know in the comment section. The second bag starts with the build of the front part of the car. Not sure here what is the idea behind this transparent 1x2 plate. At the same time, we put more details to the interior of the cabin. So this 1x1 tile has a printed image on it, it's not a sticker, and obviously is used for the infotainment system. Also adding a steering wheel, which is not attached to anything, and in general you won't find a steering mechanism on any of the Speed Champion sets. Here I add a few more pieces to the front of the car and cover it with 2x4 tile. The mystery of the transparent plate has not been solved. The plate is covered and not visible at all now. Why did it have to be transparent? I have no idea, and I doubt anybody can answer that question. Okay, few more steps and we're installing headlights presented by two metallic silver 1x1 quarter tiles. The next sticker with McLaren logo on it goes on top of the trunk, and after this point the front of the model is complete. Let's move over to its sides. Here we're building two doors, which are of the same color on the outside and inside, adding two small side mirrors, and we are done with the body. Wheels are pretty much the same as for the majority of other modern Speed Champion sets. Also, we have two sets of wheel covers. 4 pieces of black 5-spoke covers and 4 pieces of black 9-spoke covers. And it's up to you which set you want to use for your build.
So what is it that makes Elva so unique, apart from its price, of course? Well, there are plenty of interesting engineering solutions, and the majority of them have been reflected in this like tiny Lego model, which is awesome. First of all, we cannot not notice that this model doesn't have a traditional windshield. The real-life prototype doesn't have it either. The windshield comes as an option. Instead of a traditional windshield, you get high-tech virtual windscreen that turns the air against itself. And Elva takes the air in at the bottom of the front side, diverts it through the series of vents, and flaps back on itself at the 130 degrees angle. And then the air coming over as the front of the vehicle actually hits that and starts bending over the car and creates a bubble around the passengers. They say it becomes a very calm environment where people can actually talk and feel protected from the elements. I mean, they say it deflects anything that goes with the free flow air. Boom. Including all the bugs and rain. Okay, moving over to doors. Just look at this profile. Everything in McLaren has its reason and purpose. And this shape and cutouts are also done for a reason, to effectively manipulate air. They are deliberately shaped like this to allow the turbulent air from the wheels to travel easier along the sides of the car and into the vent cutouts here. Now the exhaust system. We can see 4 tips here. A couple close together facing upwards, and then a couple facing backwards and placed a bit apart. So the story behind that is the engineers designed them like so to produce a perfect sound. The 2 tips at the top of the car are close together so they liberate the high frequency noises. The ones that are further apart lower down, they liberate the lower frequency sounds. A combination of 2 together gives a perfect sound. And a person who sits in the car feels that way because there is nothing between the top exhaust and the driver. So as a driver you get a more direct feedback and the straight sensation, audio sensation of the engine. And last but not least, minifigure. As I mentioned earlier, at first sight I didn't find anything special about it, but I remembered that in some other sets that I built previously, minifigures were inspired by real persons. For example, this Mercedes Formula 1 car comes with the minifig of Lewis Hamilton, and Lewis Hamilton is the famous racing driver. So I googled what's the case with the McLaren Elva and found that this lady here is Rachel Brown. She is McLaren Automotive's principal development engineer for Ultimate Series. And I find such attention to details from LEGO in LEGO sets just awesome. Okay, final thoughts. How does the model resemble the real-life prototype? I would rate the resembles as 5. If you know how the real car looks, you immediately see why this model has been designed like this. I would do a couple of accents differently though, but I'll mention them in a minute. Build quality and sturdiness, I absolutely had no issues with the quality of the build. The model is strong and can be played with. I was worried a bit about these pieces at the back of the car, but they are well secured in place. I don't really like how the door elements move a little bit up and down, but still they stay in place and don't come off easily. So for me it's a 4 out of 5. Speaking about parts and their utilization, a lot of small parts, mostly blue of course. The 2 curved slopes which make up the seats are printed. There is one more printed part, which is the 1x1 tile that represents the audio system. I really like how they utilize 2 transparent red axe blades. Kudos to the designer for that. Rear lights look so sleek and narrow and futuristic. Very original solution, love it. Talking about stickers, there are just 7 of them. They are good, their background color matches the color of the pieces. I don't see any difference at all. Overall aesthetics as a display model, it's not an easy task to reflect the elegant and smooth shapes of a modern car in a small LEGO set. But I think the designer of this set nailed it. I truly like how it looks as both a standalone model and as a great addition to other Speed Champions set that you may already have on your shelf. So, would I recommend purchasing this set? It may not be the prettiest model out there, but it's unique in a few ways and has some stories to tell behind its design and engineering solutions. So yes, absolutely. I recommend to get one before it's gone. And that is all. Tell me what you think about this model, would you consider buying it? And if you watched this video to this point, please consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe to the channel, not to miss videos like this in the future. Until then, bye.